I mean, if he gets it, all the more power to him. Right, so Axodo and Boxmeister, they're 16 and 17. Pollsmor is 8th seed, and Redy is 25th.
Okay.
So there's a bit of a difference there. It looks like Redy has a 104 for a PB, and Pollsmor has I think he got a 47 now. Yep, he did.
Yeah, I think he has a 47. Like all of the top 8 seeds have at least that one, I think.
No, it's not a blind race.
This is not a blind race. These guys know what they're doing.
They're familiar with the game, yeah. There is some issues with the climb for some of the people. It's a hard climb, so it's understandable they don't always get it.
I still think that's one of the hardest rooms in the entire game.
Yes, for sure.
The speed games.
Did Redy not ready up? Or is he just way behind?
I mean, if Pollsmor properly started, like this rail race should have started. I think there's like technical difficulties. I'm not sure.
It might be, yeah. Everyone else is looking good though. Like,
yeah,
everyone kind of messed up the climb a little bit, but it looks good.
I saw some difficulties. Some difficulties killing the horn out too, which can be evasive sometimes.
It's consistent though, right? I'm sure you know.
Killing the horn out?
Yeah, it's in the same position every time, right?
Yeah, it always does the same thing. It always jumps forward.
Right.
The same. So I mean, it's kind of tricky to hit sometimes. Small and stuff.
Oh, watching so many people text smash at once.
I wonder, because a lot of runners actually do run on Japanese, and I'm not sure how many are like actually use English. I think these runners mostly use English, except for Pollsmor.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think both Boxmeister and Axodo usually run on the English version.
So, I mean, that might be tiny differences in knowing the text can make
for sure.
RTA differences.
It's helpful, for sure.
Pollsmor is sad about his missile time already.
I don't even know what a good time is on English.
It's like 3:10.
Is it? Okay.
Pollsmor claims they're at 3:07. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean,
it sounds fishy.
He uses emulator, and while the emulator we are using for the race is fairly accurate from what I've seen on Ross's stream, who also uses emulator, it might be running slightly fast on some people's PCs. We can't really say for sure, but like we didn't want to leave out emulator users for this race.
It's a pretty small difference. It's like a couple of seconds.
Yeah, definitely.
For a run that's an hour and a half or hour 20, it's like less than 20 seconds difference. So.
Yeah, that sounds about right. It may or may not make a difference, but we'll see.
Hopefully not. That would be kind of. But I mean, if they're that close in the first place, it would be kind of sad, but still.
Definitely.
I would rather just have as many people as possible in the tournament.
Right.
Oh, okay. That's possible. I'm assuming his Twitch is the same as mine. There are a lot of windows on my screen.
I didn't see if any of the runners hit the double, but it looks like Boxmeister pulled slightly ahead of Axodo, so he probably got slightly more lucky.
mean, Boxmeister was slightly ahead of Axodo before.
It looks like a slightly wider gap now. But it's nice
really
that they
close.
at least got somewhat similar RNG. It can make a huge.
Really close after Reckless. Wow.
It can make a huge difference, especially early on, what kind of luck you get on the idols. Since you have to hit it at least twice, probably 3 times if you don't get a double.
Yeah.
And every attempt, like it can shoot 4 beams for every attempt, basically. So you can potentially lose a lot of time.
And a Reckless could cost a lot of time too. I mean, because he can decide to roll where he's completely invincible. And that takes a couple of seconds, so if you're really unlucky, you can get multiple rolls. And if you're really lucky, you might get none. So there's a lot of RNG in the beginning of this game in general.
Definitely. In terms of idols, though, the idols where they have to do multiple hits on them ends pretty soon, at least. There's one more where they have to at least hit it twice. And then for the rest of it, they have Charge Beam where they can one-hit KO the idols.
So Axodo deciding not to grab the min tank.
Oh, he skipped it. Okay.
While Boxmeister did grab it, so I'm not sure if Boxmeister is gonna skip missile tank later on, or if he just grabs more missiles. I'm not sure. That missile tank is kind of divided among runners, which if we grab it or not, because it is slower than another tank technically. That tank you can get later, but you're kind of short on missiles early on, and having an extra 5 missiles in Sector 1 is a really nice safety to have.
Definitely. I see Pollsmor grabbed it too.
Yeah. I see Redy got the energy tank before Arachnas, which is, I mean, I can sort of see why, like, having more energy tanks is useful. The game is pretty scary. Things do a lot of damage, it's easy to die a lot, but I think that just makes the boss, at least Arachnas, becomes harder because you have to use missiles to get to the energy tank.
Yeah, for sure.
And having less missiles hurt.
If you get a roll, you'll probably end up wasting like at least 2 missiles. And assuming you sort of halfway count your missiles, not really, just spam them as fast as possible, then it's likely that you'll start the Core X fight with like 1 missile or something, and then you're kind of dependent on a drop. And that sucks sometimes, because sometimes it will only give you yellow X's, so like no missiles for you. You have to spend a bit of time farming for a green X, which could potentially waste a fair bit. There's a couple of other E-tanks throughout the run that they can probably grab. Pollsmor just ran past one of them, which is probably one of the faster ones in Sector 1.
Alright, by the toads, yeah.
You know, if you want to get green X pretty handily, you could always just not get hit.
That is true. That is absolutely true. But it's not always, I want to say, possible without wasting time against Arachnas.
Sure. Specifically early on, like now in Sector 1, it's pretty important not to get hit. Not only because getting hit is slow, like you take knockback and such, but it makes it harder to get missile drops. And like I said, we're pretty short on missiles for Sector 1 in general, so it's really important to stay at full health throughout this sector.
Fortunately, they don't need too many missiles towards the end. They need like 3 for the Idor. Pollsmor is getting to the point where he has to climb this really long room, and you have to kill some pirates on the way, and the only way you can kill them is with missiles. So if you're like low on missiles at this point and they don't give you any missile drops whatsoever, yeah, you can end up like having to farm somewhere else because you don't have enough missiles by the Idor, which is like worst case scenario.
You're never screwed, though. There is a place right underneath the Idor to farm a couple of missiles, but you don't want to do it.
I mean, especially in a race setting, it's really, really slow because you have to go through doors as well.
Yeah.
Oh, he got 4 beams, Pollsmor. And he missed the double too. It looks like Axodo missed the double as well. I'm not sure he's trying for it.
I didn't see it. I think the double on the second idol is really hard.
Yeah, it is. He managed to catch up to Pollsmor now just because of the idol. I think Pollsmor got like 8 beams or something. That was not great.
Wow.
Nice, we have a new race leader.
Oh, Pollsmor and Axodo are really close.
Yeah. Boxmeister not getting the best of RNG either, but he's in there now. So not too far behind. RNG can be like super volatile in the beginning of the game. There's another boss coming up that's also random.
There's more to come. Like the next 2 bosses are supposed to be random, or have potential to waste a lot of time through RNG.
So who's racing who?
Axodo is racing Boxmeister and Pollsmor is racing Redy.
It's horizontal, like they're racing the person who do.
And like for a short amount of time, they all had different color splits.
Cute.
Axodo seems to have taken a lot of damage. I'm guessing he had trouble hitting the stabilizer. The second to last one. For the second to last one,
I think he missed. I think he missed the tracking.
Right. You have to just sort of jump into the stabilizer for the second to last one, and you want to ideally hit with the full power of the charge shot, which requires you to be real close to like the weak spot.
Like the charge beam has a tiny hitbox right at the arm cannon when you shoot it, which does damage on its own, and you need the full damage of charge beam to kill the stabilizers in one hit.
In the first race, I saw someone doing a pseudo screw attack, and that does significantly less damage. Do you remember how much that was?
I can look it up.
Go for it.
Like, if you get the full power of the...
I'm guessing it's either 10 or 20.
Charge beam.
It's way less than a full charge beam.
Huh, okay.
The full charge beam plus the flare from the gun underneath adds up to 26 damage.
Yeah.
Versus just hitting with part of the beam, which does 10 damage.
Right.
Or a missile that does 10 damage.
Yeah, so the pseudo screw attack for normal charge beam is 14 damage.
14.
14,
Okay.
okay.
Redy not getting the best of fight or RNG either. It's very close between the other 3. Like they're just like a few seconds behind one another.
Let's see, Sector 2 is also a pretty scary sector in general. Enemies do a lot of damage here. And getting hit too much means it takes a lot of resources to refill. Like you could potentially die here. It shouldn't really happen, but I mean.
I think the Soros, which is the red slug-like enemies, do like 40 damage or something like that.
They do like 45. Yeah.
It's 45, yeah. Well, the point is, repeated run-ins with them sort of drain your health very fast. Fortunately, like missiles. Go ahead.
Axodo even grabbed the refill to be safe.
Yeah, I can understand why you would do that if you're ahead. Missiles is not really an issue with that particular sector, at least. I mean, by the end of it, they need enough to like. Actually, do you really need missiles for anything?
I mean, there are a couple of them.
Barely.
There are a couple of Soros you kill, and they're like you kind of want enough missiles to fight the boss. You can always just grab the red X.
Yeah, I think
like
most runners.
The red X costs like half a second, maybe a second.
Sounds about right. Most runners probably grab the red X, I imagine.
I try not to, but I mean, if I have, I'm not gonna be sad if I have to. It's a very slight time loss.
I mean, it's absolutely skippable, but I can see people grabbing it for safety since it's such a minor time loss.
Axodo forgets how to open doors for a second.
I've done that.
You kill a ton of enemies throughout Sector 2 though, so like you don't use very many missiles and you're getting a ton of X. So if you get really unlucky, you could get entirely health refills, but it's not as big a deal as in Sector 1.
I mean, as long as you don't take damage, you're guaranteed to get missile refills.
If you take one hit, you're gonna be down 45 energy. So.
But yeah, we use charge beam a lot in Sector 2, so we don't use missiles that much. But you need like 10 or 12 or something to have enough for Salvo beam.
Yeah, 10 is 5. I never have any problems with them in 1%.
Only one beam for Pollsmor.
Yeah, Axodo is looking kind of low on missiles, but
Yeah.
it won't matter in a second.
So this boss is a huge RNG time thing as well. It can decide to, like, it jumps back and forth and eventually tries to attack you, and when it does try to attack you, you need to shoot it. So it can jump back and forth for a while before it changes. The Pollsmor is having pretty good luck so far. I think that seemed pretty good. I thought it was only, like, that was like 6 jumps, I think. I wasn't counting.
Sounds about right. I've given up on counting. It just makes me depressed every time.
Yeah, we generally count the number of jumps it wastes, where it's invulnerable. And yeah, that was 6 jumps.
Ooh, Axodo didn't kill the second segment. So you need to do a set amount of damage to kill a segment that explodes. Doing more than that does nothing. Like, you need to kill 4 segments. That's it. But if you don't do enough, you're gonna have to wait an additional round, and it sucks.
It's kind of a shame that you can't like overkill that boss, kill 2 segments at once or something like that. It would certainly make the boss more interesting than having to wait for every single round. Is Pollsmor going for an SAX skip or no?
No, it's not. The coward.
He was threatening to do it.
I would not be surprised if it did, to be honest. But yeah, you can skip that entire encounter with SAX, or skip. You can fall down there early and like jump over her and run past. It's very, very difficult. And if you screw it up, you die. And if you do it properly, it saves about 8 seconds. So
it's definitely not race friendly in any case.
It's not friendly at all. It's not anything friendly. I don't know if you can go for it. Oh, he tried, but the block wouldn't break? That's cute.
I have that issue sometimes.
I don't know how Pulse is fighting in chat and racing at the same time.
Actually,
very
cheating.
talented.
He already did a race, he's just playing a replay.
So Axodo and Boxmeister are like at the exact same spot now, basically. That's cool.
Oh, Axodo got past Boxmeister again.
Yeah.
Box was ahead of Axodo after the boss.
Yeah, he had a bit of platforming issues. But like, I think it's interesting that they're this close at this point because.
What controller does he use?
Who?
Well, what controller does each of them use? Do we
Well, I don't know the answer to any of those questions, so I don't know why I asked you to specify.
I think Axodo uses some kind of PlayStation controller, probably. He plays on emulator. I think I've talked to him about it before. As for Boxmeister, I think he uses a Game Boy Advance SP, since he plays on console.
Oh, didn't someone use a GameCube controller?
Not in this race.
Not in this race.
It was probably Flip who had to.
Yeah, I think we had Flipside the other day who had to use the GameCube controller.
Alright.
Reddy also grabbing the safety tank before Sasabi is probably a good idea. It's a very fast one.
He now has enough health to do the 100% SX, which is actually pretty consistent. He still shouldn't, but if you have 4 E-tanks, you have enough health to take a hit from the SX and still get past it.
I wonder when we're gonna see like a gap between Axodo or Boxmeister, or whether or not they'll be close the entire race, because we're already 20 minutes in and their PVs are 2 minutes apart, so you would expect to see some kind of deviance at this point. But they're very close.
The thing is that Boxmeister grabbed an extra missile tank, so we might see that.
Oh yeah, that could come into play for sure.
Because I'm assuming Axodo is gonna grab an extra missile tank later on. Probably in Sector 6. That's what you're usually like considering between main tank or main deck tank or Sector 6 tank.
Right. From experience, I'm pretty sure Boxmeister always grabs 45.
Oh, I guess 45.
And I think Axodo grabs 40.
Well, that makes sense. Then I guess there's not gonna be a cool reversal later on.
I mean, it's not out of the picture.
I don't know. So Pollsmor fighting Ceres.
He's notoriously bad at Ceres, so
he's oh I can see. He got a good fight there. Ceres also goes invincible for an extended amount of time whenever he uses it. Like a lot of bosses in this game, sadly. But in order to kill him quickly, we want to hit him with a full charge beam, which means hitting in point blank. And doing it that way, you can kill him in 2 shots. It's the only way to kill him in 2 shots.
He definitely got a nice pattern. There are some patterns where you have a lot of time to react to, which is just sort of nice, but also, I mean, it wastes a bit of time because you had to get into position. There are some patterns where he can like stop being invincible right as he's beside you, and obviously that's optimal. Oh, nice Shine Spark bonk.
What? Pollsmor had a weird setup for doing a low height there. Yeah. I've never seen that before.
Not sure why or what's the point is, but
it looked pretty cool.
I guess he tried to do something similar to what you're doing when you're exiting Sector 4.
No, he just did like a slight more power.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. I mean, it probably saves like half a second to do it, like if it worked. But,
instead, they'd waste a lot of time now.
What we usually do, which we'll probably see Axodo Boxmeister, is jump in or run into the below the ceiling thing and just mash A and B and eventually get this.
Yeah, in fact, it might not even save time the way he did it, because it's like you just go under the ledge anyway. He kind of lost a little time from walking.
They're both very close, Axodo and Boxmeister. They both finished the fight roughly at the same time.
Box is having a pretty scary core fight. It's very easy to fall in the water during the fight. Just completely get wrecked by the core.
Pollsmor got the frame perfect.
Nice.
Perfect transfer. He missed the crab though.
Aww.
Apparently that's gotten very popular recently.
Oh, did everyone just not know and like learn during the mistake?
I guess so.
So if you run off a ledge, you have 1 frame when you land to store a shine spark. It's useful in like 2 spots. You can do it at the end of sector 4 just for swag. It's not actually, it doesn't save any time at all, but it's cool.
Axodo missed the low height, yeah. That one is
It's the
tricky.
beginning of sector 3.
Yeah, it's the beginning of sector 3.
And it looks like
And then-
Boxmeister didn't try for it either.
And then the first trip through sector 5.
Well, technically, yeah.
If you're using 2016 strats.
Like 2005 stuff.
Yeah. Something very interesting in games like this, that a lot of the strategies were developed in 2004, 2005. Like almost all of them. But there, every once in a while, there are new strats, just kind of tweaks to the current routes.
I mean, there was kind of a renaissance of like 2012, 13, where everyone suddenly started running the game again, and we found a bunch of new stuff.
Yeah. Up until then, we pretty much just left it to Biospark.
Well, he did a pretty good job, you could say.
Yeah.
Biospark is sadly not in this tournament.
He's washed off anyway.
Shots.
Doesn't even have a world record anymore.
Yeah, he hasn't been playing nearly as much as he used to be, because he's been working on his Fusion and Zero Mission editor, which he finished a couple weeks ago, maybe last month.
Not too long ago, yeah.
I wonder how much time that Shine Spark up the ladder with the stretchies saves if you pause buffer the shine.
Depends on how many pop buffers you do.
Okay.
I think it's only barely faster if you don't pause buffer it, right?
I don't remember. I've stopped doing it since I don't want to pop buffer anymore.
Yeah.
And I'm too scared to go for shine breaks without pop buffering.
There is sort of a, if you start running from a certain spot, it feels a lot easier to do. I'm not sure if that sort of just works out really well with frames or something, but I want to say it's not too difficult, but it's definitely something that wastes a lot of time if you end up storing your shine spark too fast, because then you got to run all the way back. Poll's had some issues with Boxmeister, it looks like, but he's good.
Well, Axodo got a really good slide for data room spark. So you want to
Struggle a
do,
bit.
you want to slide across the button. You good enough. You want to like release all directions and Samus will slide for a bit, and you want to do that across the button and then store your shine spark as late as possible to have as much charge left after the cutscene as possible.
It's a
Right,
very
because-
interesting mathematical reasoning for doing that.
I mean, while you're sliding, the button is like depressing.
Do you know
yeah.
how many frames it takes for it to activate?
I don't know.
Like forever, right?
It's a lot of frames.
Like as soon as you step on it, you have to wait for so long before it triggers.
It's like 20, 30 frames.
So by sliding across it, you slow down your momentum
Yeah.
drastically. So like you still have a pretty sizable window to charge the Shine Spark, but you're slowing down across the buttons, so you have it held down much longer before you stop. I notice a lot of new players struggle with getting the box fight down. It's kind of technically, I guess, easy if you have a lot of experience with where exactly to hang on the ladder.
I mean, it's very consistent. You know, he always does the same thing. But getting the correct angles is kind of tricky.
Whoa, Boxmeister going for a weird E-tank. I've never seen people go for that one before.
And that's a pretty quick E-tank.
Yeah, I guess so. Just haven't seen people actually go for it. So I guess he's grabbing... is that the only extra one he grabbed? It looks like it.
No, he's grabbed two extra.
Oh, right, yeah. I'm
can't remember.
When you grab, yeah, he's grabbed 2 extra ones. I'm guessing the one before Sasabi.
Or Sasabi, probably, yeah.
Yeah.
Does he usually do that, or did he spark on accident?
He probably usually does that, I guess.
It seemed intentional.
Oh, Pollsmor got the Shine Spark through the through the barrier. That's good.
Oh, he didn't have enough missiles?
he didn't have enough missiles after the box fight. It requires 3 super missiles, so and yeah, I think he had 2. So
frame perfect as well.
Yeah, so you got a Shine Spark through it, which is, I mean, it's good. Not as good as just having missiles, but it's a nice backup.
Takes it perfect, rather.
Really taking a lot of damage in Sector 3. So picking up those extra E-tanks seemed like a good choice.
Yeah. But Box is kind of scary too if you don't, if you sort of don't do the supposed strat.
Yeah.
He can do a lot of damage, especially if you touch him.
He could potentially go down and take the refill if he feels like he needs to. And just like he can. Makes sense. If you're not too comfortable with the fight. He does, like everything else in Fusion, he does a lot of damage. Which is just grabbing an extra missile.
I guess that makes sense too. Though it's a very slow missile.
If you're already down there, I guess.
I don't think it's worth it even if you're down there.
No, I don't think so either. There are faster missile tanks. But... Oh, he didn't activate the fight. No! No, Reddy, go back!
Did he not go activated plus?
Fight.
No.
Oh, okay.
He realized his mistake. You have to go to the left of that corridor to activate the boss fight. And Reddy, in his process of going down and refill, forgot to activate the fight.
Yeah, there's a weird thing where, like, you're usually expected to go far to the left, and then the screen will start shaking, and then you go to the right and fight bots. But you don't have to go all the way until the screen starts shaking. There's another trigger.
Oh, no.
Before that point.
Axodo got broken by SAX. That was scary.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I was looking. I wasn't looking.
He survived, fortunately. It didn't get hit afterwards, but that's like one of the scariest things that can happen.
Sector 6 is kind of scary in general. The blue X's do like 80 damage if they touch you. I mean, they shouldn't, but it hurts.
Could happen. Reddy had a decent box fight, so he's good. He has a lot of missiles and health.
Nice. He's also grabbing this safety E-tank. He's grabbing a lot of E-tanks.
If you haven't played the game in a while, it's probably like a safe bet to grab a few extra E-tanks. There's definitely some scary sections in the game.
That's one reason, well, counter to what everyone else suggests. Like, I like to suggest doing some 1% playthroughs, just to, it helps you a lot in learning to, like, avoid most damage. You won't
I
get
think
knocked
that's a
around
good
nearly
idea.
as much in general.
I think that's a good idea to have a couple of 1% runs under your belt. Just because, especially against some later boss fights, you learn how to not take damage. Like against Ridley and Nightmare. So.
You learn a lot about how both enemies and bosses work, because it's not just the bosses that are scary to get
No,
through.
everything is scary.
Yeah.
Scary
You'll
game.
quickly realize in a low percent run, 1 or 0, whatever you opt for, that pretty much everything can kill you in 2 or 3 hits. And there are a lot more enemies than bosses, so.
So Axodo is pulling ahead from Boxmeister quite a bit now. Oh no, Boxmeister's stream was kind of frozen.
Even still, he's quite a bit ahead
Still
now.
quite a bit ahead, yeah.
Yeah, Pollsmor's taking quite a commanding lead at this point, even though he's not racing against the top 2 runners on the screen. But
I mean, it's kind of expected though. I just don't want Boxmeister ruining my bracket prediction.
wait, who did you root for?
I put Boxmeister to win.
Oh, okay. So you're cheering for Boxmeister.
I'm cheering for Box. Completely unbiased commentary.
Cheering for Box, not Boxmeister.
He's the Meister of Box.
So there's a bit of an issue going through the Sector 5 for the first time that people in the past have referred to as pulling a secret key, wherein you go down to the bottom to unlock yellow doors, and then you go back up, and like you done what you were there for, so you just go back to talk to Adam, and he tells you, what are you doing? You were supposed to get ice missiles. And then you're like, wait a second, I forgot something.
I mean, Sector 5 in general is very, very repetitive on like every single time you're there almost. So it's not uncommon to go through the whole cycle and then like think you're in a different part of the game and just proceed instead of doing what you're supposed to. In this case, getting ice missiles.
Oh, Pollsmor, really? Why? Oh my god, Pollsmor is going for a swag.
Why?
No, he's
So,
not! I saw that happening before it happened. No. So he hit the save platform. The save platform has slant that you can start the sequence on.
That's terrible.
Oh, that's like you want to be a bit further down the slope and go below the platform and hit the slope on the other side.
That's kind of cool that you can do that, I guess.
So this
not
is
something
what
I've seen
I was
before.
referring to earlier by 2016 strats.
If you do reverse ice, it saves like a second, I think.
I think it's a second, yeah.
So it's like a super hard trick that saves a second.
It's frame perfect, and after the frame perfect charge, you kind of had to have a tight shine spark to make past the save room. And
Yeah,
then
you
can
gotta
shine
have
spark.
pretty good concentration.
You can shine spark up this room on the right that Pollsmor's gonna go through and grab the ice missiles that way. And it saves like a second. It was really close to getting it. It needed to be a tiny bit further down to not hit the save platform.
Yeah, but he pause buffered it, so I'm not impressed.
That's cheater. Probably wouldn't even have saved time if he pause buffered.
Yeah.
Good work, Pollsmor.
You try that.
Someone is proud.
I wonder how long it'll be for them to go for the underwater wall jump after Ceres. Like, that's I swear that it's not as difficult as it at first feels like.
I mean,
I
that's
tried it
probably
once.
easier than reverse ice. It also hardly saves any time.
It saves an undetermined amount of time.
Very
We
small.
have no idea still. Nobody's even timed it because like no one does it consistently enough to
I mean, I timed it once
time
for
it.
tool-assisted purposes, but it was a tiny amount. Emergency in dog.
Minute to main boiler explosion.
Yeah, Axodo has pulled ahead quite a bit compared to Boxmeister now. I'm not actually sure what made the difference, really. It must have been somewhat small things.
Better movement in general, I think.
Yeah.
There seems to be some technical difficulties with Ready stream.
That's
I
alright.
mean, I can't start it on Twitch either, so that's why I say. Yeah. Oh, it's up again. It's up. It's fine.
We can sort of follow it. It's fine.
Unfortunately, he can't show it continuously because he's like otherwise we would find out he was splicing.
Oh no.
Pollsmor looking to have a very acceptable emergency.
Yeah, so I saw him miss a jump. It's terrible.
Ah, okay. But yeah, it's like a timed section in itself because of the countdown timer. So people like to see how well they did based on what the timer shows as soon as you're done with the section.
That was still a very respectable time.
And if you get like a 4:30 or better, that's still very good. And it looks like Pollsmor got that.
Yep. Do you guys remember the record for? It's like 4:30, like 4:38 or something like.
Yeah, sounds about right.
Yeah.
That's what I would guess.
I mean, it's very, very dependent on whether or not the idol cooperates with you or not. So it's sort of. I don't think people would run that seriously, but it's sort of like a mini goal in itself.
You need a good
We talked about doubles.
white beam right?
Uh,
Sort of.
It's much more difficult for I-cores because they have a much smaller hitbox and you can hit them from the side to an extent, but it's a much tighter window.
Right.
If you hit a core with 2 missiles within a frame apart, like almost simultaneously, you could get both of them to do damage.
On course, it has to be actually frame perfect. You have to actually hit them the same frame. On I-doors, they can be a frame apart, but on course, they have to be frame perfect.
I think on I-cores as well.
Oh yeah, maybe. It's a bit like I-cores have weird hitboxes. I'm not actually sure about that. I don't think so though.
But there's sort of like 2 different ways of doing doubles. What Boxmeister is doing right now is one of those I-core X's where you have to hit like a specific spot, and often that involves like falling down into it because it's easy to set up a double that way. And then there's the regular cores that come out of most bosses, where you just sort of want it to move sideways into 2 missiles at once, which is way easier to set up and like way more lenient.
Yeah, I try to do kind of a hybrid of those 2 strats, in this fight at least. But yeah, the I-core hitbox is really weird. I've seen people shoot directly into the eye and it just tinks off.
Yeah.
Yeah, the hitboxes are weird.
Not uncommon at all for that to happen.
Pollsmor is claiming to not have enough health to do impossible strat, which is like you don't even take damage doing impossible, so that's a lot of bullshit.
Well, if you miss it, you might
If
hit.
you screw it up, but if just don't screw it up and you're fine.
Yeah, we call it the impossible strat because one runner used to have a lot of trouble with it.
That's literally
So he
the only
just refused
reason.
to.
I mean, he used to call it impossible because he's doing this.
Well, he did the science.
Wow, Pollsmor. Okay, you need to learn how to do the impossible. You can't just improvise that.
Oh, that's sort of scary.
A couple of ways to time it. They usually jump like as soon as they're above.
You don't even have to wall jump for the first step.
Well, as soon as they're like, ground level.
Well, yeah, I mean, Pollsmor did like wall jump for the first stretchy, and you don't have to, and it makes it way harder.
It makes it harder?
Like,
I don't know.
because you're landing on it later, and you don't have time to jump up to the first one or the second one.
Well, you gotta wait for it to fully form before you freeze it as well.
Not the second one. Like you jump.
Yeah.
The way I do it, I just jump as soon as I freeze the first one, and I just do another jump, and I'm in good timing for the second one.
I always hated this part of the game. It's very like slow paced.
Yeah, I mean,
you have a lot of visits to boring sectors, and they're pretty like not a lot of stuff is happening.
yeah, it's like you save animals, then you get power bombs, and then like nothing happens. You're not fighting any cool bosses. Nothing interesting is happening. Like you get the meltdown. It's kind of the only
highlight,
interesting part
yeah.
in this entire section.
Well, it's kind of a break.
It's a boring break. I don't want breaks. I want non-stop action in my video game.
And sort of to rub salt in the wound, the animals are also very random, so you can like potentially lose a lot of time while you're just waiting around doing nothing.
Yeah.
It looks like Axodo got decent enough animals. They can be worse. Boxmeister entering the animals area as soon as Axodo is leaving.
Boxmeister had. Oh no! Boxmeister really screwed up the chance spark twice. So for the first part, he tried to store the shine spark too early, and then he sort of misfired into the wall. It's sad. That room is super awkward to climb up normally. The one
He did a good job,
though.
though.
Yeah, he did fine. He did better than I usually do when I miss the shine spark.
I don't think I've ever done that room normally, because when I started running Fusion, like that Shine Spark strat, the easy Shine Break one was commonplace, I think, so.
Yeah, you almost never miss it, and it's just really confusing when you do.
I mean, it was way more common earlier. We sort of recently, like in the last year, figured out you can break the Shine Spark block and keep running. Like you break the second speed booster block, then have like a full 2 blocks of space to store the Shine Spark, and it's really easy to do.
I think before it was kind of like, well, I mean, this way works, so we'll just keep doing what works. But
Yeah.
apparently there's a slightly easier way.
I mean, it makes it ridiculously easy, so It makes sense. Ready getting to meltdown now.
Ready stream is like 2 minutes behind everyone else though, because of technical difficulties. So
I think he also just started late.
no, I'm pretty like it was fine for a while. Like it's yeah, I don't know. There's been some shenanigans happening.
All right.
Well, I think earlier he wanted to like make it make the time closer to like have the timer running evenly for the
Right,
show,
right.
so he just like fast forwarded his playback.
So I don't know if you mentioned this, but we have in Fusion we have a lot of power bombs. In most other Metroid games, you kind of have to take care and use your power bomb sparingly. But in Fusion, we have almost like practically an infinite amount. We can use them wherever we want. Some runners make it a game to actually try and use up all of them.
I mean,
And it's hard.
you start with 10, and they take forever to explode. So like it's hard to use a lot of power bombs.
It is.
You have to really work for
Without
it.
slowing down.
Yeah.
Oh, Axodo got his spacing kind of off for this. This is
I-
like you start at a very peculiar spot in order to not move too fast. Like you want to hit the gate before you run into it, and if you start running from too far to the left, you're gonna go into speed booster too early and hit the gate. But if you start too far right, you're not gonna get speed booster quickly enough and run into an enemy instead. So you have to be in a pretty specific position.
I always thought that
Axodo kind of
segment.
messed it up.
I always thought that segment was really weird because half the time it looks like I'm actually hitting the gate, but I'm still keeping my speed boost regardless.
It's a bit weird.
I think as soon as you hit the button, the hitbox for the gate disappears.
Yeah. Like as soon as you start moving upwards.
Ah, I see. Yeah, that makes sense.
So it has this whole animation where it's not actually there.
Right.
We're going down to Yakuza, and this is a lot of people's big main casually playing the game. Like it's this and Nightmare are the two really hard bosses. A lot of people have issues with. And Yakuza is still a really difficult boss, even when speed running. I think at least.
Yeah, I mean, the second phase is very hard to do optimally. He moves very fast. You gotta make sure your missiles connect as fast as possible. He does a lot of damage too if you hit him. All the runners have enough E-tanks that like dying to him shouldn't be an issue. But we'll see.
You'll see. You'll also see Pollsmor. I'm assuming you'll see most of these guys try to shoot up at the start of the fight. The quiz is actually there and won't go right at the start, but you have to jump up in order for the missiles to not despawn before they hit him. Oh no. If you get grabbed by Yakuza before he's like, if he's too high up, if he's above the point where he would like go back up to, if you get grabbed, it doesn't actually count as a cycle. So I see a lot of people getting grabbed way too early. That's only helpful if you get a 0 round. If you get a 0 round, he opens right away. But if it's not, it does nothing.
Did Pollsmor do that?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I think so. I think that was too high. I'm not sure. It was kind of close.
So he might not have gotten a full round like he just did.
I'm not sure. It was pretty close.
Yeah, Yakuza can like waste a random amount of time by doing a few extra roundabouts before he starts shooting at you and reveals his weak point again. And it wastes a lot of time, so like it's a pretty notorious run killer, just for the fact that you can end up having so many extra rounds.
That was pretty good. I think that was 3 doubles in the core there.
I think he missed one, but it was probably 2, yeah.
Yeah, that's basically the strat you saw there, is where he just kind of lured the core just like high up into the side so that it flew sideways into 2 missiles he shot. If you look really closely, when it hits, like, there are 2 explosions simultaneously.
Axodo got a 2 round, so didn't waste too much time, fortunately. He's having a bit of issues hitting the second phase, though. It can be very tricky.
It's really hard.
Yeah. And I think the way his head bounces around depends on what angle the missiles hit. Is that right? It feels
I have
like
no idea. I'm not good enough on because of second phase to tell you how that works. I just
In any
try to
case,
react and shoot.
like
them.
it feels sort of random. In any case.
It's very erratic. Oh, Boxmeister was trying to just not get grabbed, but he got grabbed anyway. He was sitting in the corner. I don't know what I grabbed him. That was
Oh
weird.
wow, that was quite a grab. He has a huge grab range. Yeah, I mean you can either choose to just completely avoid Yakuza and let him run around. It's slightly faster getting grabbed by him and sort of ending the round prematurely that way. But
If you can mash quickly, huh?
yeah, if you mash quickly, you also take damage. So I mean, there's sort of a risk-reward kind of thing.
I mean, as long as you mash out, it's not that much. If you don't actually mash out in time and he does the body slam, that body slam does a lot of damage.
Yeah.
That shouldn't really happen.
Boxmeister also having a bit of issues with the second phase. You can see he like opts to shoot a lot of diagonal shots, and that's not always what you want. So you gotta react a lot to the second phase, and it's pretty difficult.
Pollsmor gets a really good plasma core fight.
Oh, Pollsmor's already done with tutorial. I'm not paying. It's hard to pay attention to 4 streams at once.
It is. Don't worry about it.
That was one of the more recent changes. Was well, probably like 2014 changes, I guess. Was starting to use double missiles on cores, or on I cores rather.
I cores, yeah. We've done doubles on the standard cores forever.
Too difficult.
Yeah, I thought it was, and then someone was like I didn't really try that much. I just kind of thought it was too hard, and then someone just said, no, it's not too hard. And it's like, oh, okay, well, I guess we're doing this.
Yeah.
Like nothing really changed. No one like found a new way to do it. It's just, oh, we can do it on ice now. Oh, cool.
Well, it was kind of a thing where, oh, now we know, like, we kind of know how doubles work now, and we can, we figured out, like, you can get doubles while falling down, and it's, like, more consistent speed. Oh, and Axodo falling in the water there is one of the toughest parts about this core. It's like, if you get trapped in the water, it's almost impossible to jump out while the core is swarming you.
Boxmeister got kind of molested by a key
Wow,
hunter in the
that
corner.
was horrible.
that key hunter in like 3 hits did over 300 damage. That was
They do a lot of damage.
that could have been really scary if it didn't have
Yeah.
extra tank.
It started out with the
Oh, Pollsmor.
steam
Pollsmor is going
attack, which
for-
does 137.
Pollsmor going for Nightmare Faces. This is a notoriously hard trick that saves a teensy bit of time. Oh, that was really good though. That was good. So at every one of those doors, your position is automatically set to the very bottom of the door. So you have to be rising. You have to be like in the right part of the jump through every transition. And
that's much easier said than done.
It's really hard. I'm impressed. He almost got like past all of it. It's really impressive.
Certainly better than my average attempts.
Oh yeah, for sure. I don't think I've ever gotten that far. I've tried just to have something to time against. I couldn't even do it. I just wanted to time it, but I couldn't.
I tried it for a couple hours once, and that's probably as far as I'd ever gotten.
And like, it's theoretically faster than just shine sparking, but it's in practice it's way too hard to reliably be faster. Nightmare is also a boss people usually have issues with, especially, but we just shoot a bunch of missiles at his face.
Yeah,
and then
I've
jump
said
around.
Before, like, Nightmare is probably the hardest boss casually, and it gets really easy in any percent runs when you start speedrunning him.
I think really easy is kind of... He's still one of the harder bosses, even speedrunning, I think. Axodo is trying to get this backup Shine Spark for Nightmare Shine Spark.
Oh, I guess he missed it, huh? Yeah. Oh, yeah. You barely have enough space to get the Shine Spark stored there, so it's annoying if you mess it up for sure.
So Axodo coming up on Nightmare as well. I see a good idol at least.
You'll notice, like, he'll do a lot of damage, but he'll die so much more quickly than you can.
Yeah, like if you're used to low percent, Nightmare is a pain in the ass in low percent because Charge Beam does hardly any damage in this fight.
Yeah.
So the fact that we have enough missiles to just kill him outright helps as well.
In fact, interesting trivia is that, like, when you pick up the plasma beam from Metroid, like, it does less damage on Nightmare than the white beam, just because the plasma beam does damage per frame, but against Nightmare it only does damage for 1 frame.
Yeah, his face nullifies the beam, so it only hits once.
Why is Pollsmor trying secret message?
I don't know, it's Pollsmor.
He's not gonna be able to do it.
You have little faith. Oh, good job, Master. Try it again. No. Doing secret message route is actually only a couple seconds slower than doing normal routes.
He sort of did a weird stop there.
Yeah, I did a
in order to
weird...
recharge.
I did it, like there's a really small slope in that little room. I think it's easy to just skip that recharge.
Definitely. At least in my experience.
Yeah, it's a weird thing where, like, you would think trying to go fast would be really hard, but in this case, like, the faster you get through that section, the fewer times you have to do a really small window for recharging your Shine Spark. And the enemy placements get more consistent as well. Just all around trying to go fast winds up.
Yeah, you want to
being
know
easier.
where the enemies are, so they have an idea of what's happening.
Oh,
Well-
Boxmeister got a really weird angle on his nightmare.
Oh no, that's so terrible.
Oh, I got another one. No, oh, Boxmeister, I'm sad for you. Like you wanna have them. Oh, okay, he still beats them up. You wanna have them at like a good height where you can just pump missiles, but if it's too high up, it's up the ladder, and it's really awkward.
He's really low on missiles though, which is sort of awkward when you start the core fight.
Yeah, it is.
He wisely decides to go after some of the green eggs immediately.
Yeah, you could power.
This core is
you could
not
plan on
giving
power
you any
bombing
refills
Norm,
either.
Joey.
This core is not being nice.
The power bomb
That
actually
sucks.
There we go.
just
okay.
like sucks the X into you, the refills into you. Well, into the center of the power bomb blast.
Oh, the power
So,
bomb, yeah.
that's
Right.
one option.
I guess I never really thought about that, but I guess that you could do that if you're having trouble catching them, which you do sometimes, especially against cores.
Yeah.
They leave the screen after a bit too, which is annoying. I've always liked the underwater sector 4 section. It has some good platforming in it. It's fairly straightforward. I like it.
It's pretty cool.
All in all, very,
Scary.
very good.
Axodo also got a good segment.
I remember when I was kind of new to running the game, I was super scared of dying in Sector 4. Like, I started running 100% first. Then when I started doing any percent, I was like, everything does so much damage.
I think it's almost worse than 100%, just because you visit a lot of rooms where there are even more enemies that are harder to dodge.
Well, yeah, but you have like 1,500 health
Sure.
by then.
Of course, it helps that like every 3 minutes you get a full health refill from Red X.
Warning. No entry without authorization.
Oh, Pollsmor not going to Dream Perfect Missile opening.
Not technically full health refill. I think it's like 500 health that refills.
Authorization.
I don't know how much health you get from that.
Red X's definitely do not refill it completely. But it's so much that like it'll rarely not do that. Especially in any percent.
So that door, like, right after you activate the alarm, I guess, you can shine spark back to the right, and when you hit the slope, you can open the door. You can only open the door if you shoot a missile. I'm not sure why you have to shoot a missile, but if you shoot a missile, you can. If you shoot it frame perfectly, you can open the door. A normal beam just can't at all. I'm not sure why that's different.
So Pollsmor for some reason just decided to tank all the wave beam hits, and he was left with 20 health. I'm not sure why, but I guess he's confident in how much damage it does.
No entry
You
without
want to make it exciting for the viewers.
I know.
It's actually this really scary. The wave beam core does 80 damage per shot, and
Yeah.
warning. No entry.
you can usually get through without without getting hit, but it's really weird because you shoot him whenever your missile makes contact with the eye. Whenever you damage it, it shoots the beam. So if you're trying to jump over it, your missile actually takes time to reach the core. So if you try to jump over it and then the missile hits, like as the eye is turning, it'll shoot at you instead.
I've definitely gotten hit by that
In
before.
addition,
Like
so
I'm
you
trying
have
to
pay
avoid
attention.
it, but it actually notices that I'm jumping as soon
Too
as
smart.
the missile
Yeah.
hits. Yeah, the AI is too good in this game.
So you really
so-
got to get used to having knowing how far away you are when you shoot the missile.
So people in chat asked who's in the lead, and this is actually 2 races. The 2 top players are racing against each other, and the 2 bottom players are racing against each other. And in both cases, the player on the left is in the lead right now.
Axodo got a very nice box 2 fight. That fight can always be problematic just because the sweet spot you have to hit is incredibly tiny. But he did a good job making sure most of his missiles connected, so he didn't waste too much time on it.
Axodo did a pretty good job there of avoiding all of the beams.
Yeah, he's on a very good pace right now. Pollsmor coming up on the Gold Pirates, who you're supposed to kill by shooting them in the back, but you can also just turn around right as the beam is about to connect, and it'll still think you're hitting them from behind for whatever reason. So the idea is to spawn them right away and then shoot a beam, turn around, and that kills them.
Wait, can you hurt Golden Pirates with missiles?
I guess so. I was surprised.
I didn't even know.
Oh, Pollsmor opting to take a safety save at Ridley.
Pollsmor is showing me new stats. I actually did not know you could hit them with missiles.
Me neither.
And I've been playing this game for like 10 years.
I guess Pollsmor is afraid to go out of bounds in Ridley. Be unable to complete the race. He's done that before. You can do some weird stuff with the Ridley fight and go out of bounds and sort of not be able to get back in.
Oh yeah, I see your point about not using L.
Yeah, so Pollsmor also never uses the L button because he plays on a keyboard. So instead of holding the button that allows you to shoot diagonal shots, he'll like move slightly ahead because he's holding towards and up at the same time. It just looks funny.
That was a good power model, by the way, to start the fight.
That was really good defense.
Yeah, that was very fast. And I mean, he didn't go out of bounds, so that's something.
Good job.
That's actually an accomplishment for Pollsmor.
Is it just a common thing with that strat?
No, I don't think so. Like, he's the only one I've seen do it before. But he's done it on separate occasions, so...
You've seen him do it too?
Yeah. He's done it in a race before, where he just got hit by...
That was like a rumor thing that was going on for like years.
Do you know how it works?
I mean, it's because he's grabbing you and then he like lets go of you outside of the wall. Something.
Right.
But like people reported that and Biospark was like, nah, this doesn't work. And then he was trying for years to replicate it and get it to work because getting out of bounds would have been cool. It never worked. But now apparently Pollsmor can do it whenever.
Yeah, he can do it with whatever.
Typical Pollsmor.
Yeah, that was like people were asking for like, how do you beat Ridley? Well, there's this really easy strat. You just like get him to let you go in a wall, and he can't hit you anymore. And people were like, well, that doesn't work. It's impossible.
Oh, good old time.
Like, no, I do it all the time. I've beaten it at least once.
That's really something.
Back in the game FAQ message board days.
Ah, yes. Axodo is taking a lot of damage. I hope he'll be okay for the core fight. Should be fine.
It's fine. It has a full tank though.
Well, the core does like 45 damage, I think.
It's okay. Yeah. Fine.
Yeah, I guess I shouldn't be worried. Especially since he's just sort of casually doing single missiles. Getting doubles on the Ridley Corax is really difficult because at this point you had the fusion missiles the fusion missiles has a huge cooldown compared to all the other missiles. So it's like super hard to hit doubles with that.
I'm also gonna completely unbiased mention that Boxmeister wins this race in my prediction bracket, so Axodo dying would not be the end of the world.
Don't jinx the guy.
No, I'm sorry. That was unfair.
I mean, it's certainly possible because the final boss does a lot of damage. Yeah,
final
it's
boss
pretty
is-
scary in general.
Both
Yeah,
SAX and
SAX can go really wrong.
yeah, if you don't get the if you get the stun block properly, SAX can be really scary sometimes.
I think Pollsmor is the only one who's taken a safety save at this point, so he'd be okay even if it should go wrong.
I saw Reddy take a safety save after Yakuza as well.
All right, that's good. After Yakuza, not before.
I don't know about before. I saw it after. I can't keep track of all the streams at the same
Yeah,
time.
okay.
The
I think-
stun locks on the final bosses are pretty scary too, because like it's somewhat easy to do, but it's it's so reliable that like once it does go wrong, you just don't know what to do afterwards. And it's
Yeah.
a lot of panic.
Setting it up again can be very tricky on both bosses even, and like at the same time you don't want to get hit because getting hit does like at least one full tank of damage.
Yeah, they hurt.
I mean, I would certainly consider taking a safety save before the SAX fight. Especially if you have a comfortable lead, which it looks like both Pollsmor and Axodo has at this point.
Yeah, that's true.
So yeah, a reminder against Ridley fight. Like a lot of people in message boards and stuff, they recommend just like shoot a bunch of missiles at him and he dies. It's not particularly a good idea because the charge beam does way more damage to Ridley. It's
A
like
charge beam
probably
does like
10 times more.
Yeah, somewhere around there. I mean, it differs because it depends on how long it takes. A missile does 45. The charge beam does upwards to 500. If you get a really good charge beam. That's new CX stuff from Pollsmor. I haven't seen. What? That was. Huh. When I do horizontal shots, they usually take way more. That's interesting.
I think he does
I
that
guess
because
if
of
he doesn't have
because
L.
of the L button.
Oh, L
I
button.
mentioned before.
Man, Pollsmor is teaching me about fusion. I should watch Pollsmor.
So you sort of have to employ a different strategy because
Was that a
of the
5
lack of
shot?
L button.
It looked like a 5-shot. The optimal being a 4-shot, which you kind of want to do like a tall jump and you do a diagonal shot downward to get maximum damage per charge beam. But it's kind of awkward to get
He's
the
going for
correct
double
angle.
missiles. I think he got one double missile there. Who was it that was known for racing with like 11 energy tanks?
Kadoom? That was Kadoom, right? It had like all of them.
Yeah.
Wow. Any particular reason why?
Fusion's a
It's
scary
freaking
game.
hard.
I mean, not that scary.
It's pretty scary. I mean, he eventually stopped, but
Yeah, when he stopped, he was like, "Hey, someone else has got to take care of my babies for me.
Sure.
But I
Someone
think
else has
Kadum
gotta
also
pick up these energy tank babies."
he also started learning 100%. I think. And then when he went to 90%, so without help was scary. I think. I don't
Okay.
remember. It was a while ago.
That's fair enough. Oh. Okay. That's weird.
Axodo
Because like
opting
in
for
there,
the
that holds the
safety
mic
save.
before the bugger.
Destination.
Pollsmor is about finishing up with this need to kill Omega. Easy peasy.
Goes to the off strat, which is sort of scary, but he got it, so it's all good.
Oh no. Oh no, Axodo missed his missile. Wow. Okay, he's getting the
Ooh,
back.
nice vertical strap from Pollsmor though.
He did take a safety save, so he might be alright even if...
It's fine.
Well, if he does die, he'll probably still lose, but
I don't know. Boxmeister's still in the Adam conversation.
It looks like Axodo will be fine. I mean, the Ice Core X does a lot of damage, but he's opting for the safe strat, it looks like.
Yeah, he's not trying for
Good
doubles, which
recovery.
makes sense.
You can sort of get the Ice Core X stuck under the platform while it's aiming diagonally, so it's not scary at all, basically. And like, even if you didn't do that particular strat, as long as you're in the screw attack animation, you don't take any damage whatsoever from the core. Like, you're completely invulnerable to any kind of damage it can do. So Pollsmor got a 121. That's a 49 or a 50, something like that, I think.
Yeah, 49 makes sense. Maybe 48 actually. Maybe a really high 48. Wait, no. No, that has to be a 49. Yeah. Like a 118 is 47. Oh, Boxmeister is not getting his charge beams that happen. This timing is actually really hard on fighting SAX. You just barely have enough time to get the full charge.
It's very scary, yeah. He's jumping
better to
really
shoot too
high.
early than too late.
Oh, that's scary. It looks like Axodo finished the Omega though, so he's...
So the winner ripped my bracket.
Did you have him winning any more matches? You might still be able to win if your prediction's really good.
I mean, I don't think I've had Boxmeister winning anything beyond this because he's like next fight is Hercules. So.
Yeah, alright, fair enough. So we have our two winners.
I'm surprised it was this close. Well,
I mean, like we said,
actually, Axodo and
Axodo.
Boxmeister are pretty. What are they? 16 and 17 seed? You
Yeah,
said?
they're 16 and 17
So
seeds.
I guess I'm not
should have
that
been,
surprised anymore.
This should have been the closest race in the first round.
I mean, time-wise, they probably played around their abilities, it looks like. I mean, Boxmeister's
Yeah.
going to be roughly 2 minutes behind with his current pace, which fits their PBs. Yeah, Pollsmor got a 49.
Yeah, he did a couple of extra door transitions too, trying to do stupid swag stuff. Failed most of
That's
it.
right.
Yeah, I guess it makes sense.
It's really good though. It's a pretty pretty solid time to shoot for people learning the game.
His next opponent, let me see. So Pollsmor is moving on in the bracket and facing JC, who also has a 48 as a PB, I think. So that can be potentially really, really close, yeah.
Oh, Boxmeister having issues against Omega. Oh no.
And Axodo gets to fight
no.
the winner of JRP and Hubert, so probably facing first seed. It's gonna be rough.
Oh, there you go. Okay. That was pretty close from Boxmeister. He only has 100 health left. Or 199. Pollsmor is fighting Nightmare again because he's bored.
Yeah, that was scary. He was at 1 health for a moment. It's funny because it's a scripted event.
You're not Purse Claw is the
Someone was asking the other day.
day.
Someone was asking the other day if you could die if you were at 1 health already, but I'm pretty sure
No.
you just don't take damage at that
You
point,
don't
right?
take any damage.
Yeah.
So that claw can do between 0 and 2,200 damage, I think.
What a volatile attack.
Yeah, it's like so inconsistent. Well, Pollsmor is doing emulated cheats, but speeding up and stuff. He's just trying to show off secret message, I'm guessing.
I'm guessing that's what he's doing, yeah.
Ready's going towards Ridley.
I like the secret message sparks.
Very cute.
I mean, it's a cool sequence. It's a shame it doesn't really have any use outside of a Easter egg.
51 for accident. I mean, it's almost like I think it's possible we could find some kind of optimization that makes it actually faster.
Wouldn't that be something?
That would be cool. No one would do it anyway, but
Are there any out of bounds you could do on the way?
I don't know, maybe.
So you want to do an out of bounds while
While doing secret message.
doing secret message? That'll be something.
I think after doing secret message, maybe. Like after getting past the wall.
I don't know where.
Out of bounds
Taking this
is
stupid hill again.
new technology for the most part.
Good job, Paul.
In this past
Maybe
year, right?
maybe there's a fish here. I'm gonna hit by that fish after the door a couple of times.
Mm-hmm.
It's entirely possible. So we're sort of not knowing where Reddy is right now, since his stream seems to have gone down a bit.
I don't know where he actually is. His stream is fighting Ridley.
The stream is at 125 something.
Yeah.
Alright, so
I'm
it's a
guessing
little hard to tell.
So I'm guessing in real time he's like on his way to SAX, probably. I don't know. It's
Hey guys.
Sounds likely.
Hey,
hello.
welcome.
It's me, Boxmeister, here.
Oh, hello. I would just open Discord to see how this was.
Yeah, I thought I thought it would be wise if I switched myself. Since I have access to the channel anyway. Whew! What a run!
That was a good race, though. You guys were really close through like the first half of the game.
Let's see, we were 3 minutes away from each other.
At the end, yeah, but like during the middle of the game, you were super close. You were like in the same room most of the time.
Uh-huh. Well, I had Axodo stream open actually, and it was at around Sector 2 that we're still going room to room.
Yeah.
I got a 54, so that's a really good time for me. 53 is my PB, so I'm really satisfied with how my run went actually.
Yeah, good job. That's a solid run.
I'll turn off the game audio for now so I can hear you guys better. Let's see. There we go. Okay, that's much better because the game audio is blaring into my headphones.
So what kind of things do you think you were having a bit of trouble on?
Nightmare at least. I had really difficulties fighting Nightmare. The second manipulating the third phase, the phase where his mask falls off, was really difficult for me.
Yeah,
so
I saw you got him too high a couple of times.
Hey, can you hear me, guys?
Yeah, hello.
Yeah.
Hey, well, first of all, congratulations, Axodo. It was a really nice race. I had your stream open during the race, so I could see how you were progressing through the game.
Yeah.
Really well done.
Let's say a surprising run.
Congrats.
I did a lot of good stuff and a lot of stupid mistakes.
That sounds like every run.
Yeah, I also made a lot of mistakes during my run, but most of it was because of the nerves. I really felt that, well, I saw your stream and I thought, well, I really need to step up my game in order to keep up.
I wasn't able to see your stream, but I think if I would, I would probably be even more stressed than I was.
It was only a 3-minute difference, so it was a really close race.
Yeah, okay. And I think, well, this race was very interesting because, as you said, you probably did some mistakes. Some people in my chat told me where you were at some point, and I guess it should be good to make another race, you and me, because it was fun, honestly.
Yeah, I had my heart was racing for this past 1.5 hour. I was really pumped up for it. I really felt excited during the whole race. Nerve-wracking experience, really, but I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, me too.
And I don't even mind that I lost. I mean, it's.
I mind.
Yeah,
I had you winning in my prediction bracket. So
well,
if
I remember correctly, most people actually had put me as an underdog for some reason.
Yes.
So I upset a lot of brackets actually.
Anyway, in the next round I will be facing GLP.
or Hubert.
Maybe it would have been a better idea.
I'll be facing the loser of that match. Actually.
I couldn't hear you.
So if JRP wins, then I'll face Hubert, and if Hubert for some reason wins, I'll face JRP. So it's gonna be interesting.
Yeah, I guess.
I'm looking at the other times. Pollsmor also finished very close to you, actually.
He was like 2 minutes ahead, no? 2 or 3 minutes, I guess.
Almost 3 minutes.
Yes.
He got a
Pollsmor was doing some pretty dumb stuff. He was going for reverse eyes and secret message for no reason and stuff.
Did he go for a Nightmare Space Boost?
Yes, he got really far. I was impressed by how far he got. He got like almost to the last room.
Wow, really impressive. I was really happy about that. I was really happy that I nailed both Sector 5 Shine Sparks.
I felt the second one as the most important one, so I was very disappointed as I practiced it a lot.
Oh yeah, you missed that a couple of times. Yeah, I saw you missed the backup a few times too.
Yeah,
The backup's harder than the original.
Yeah, probably.
Reddy just finished.
Oh really? His stream is still fighting SCX. He has a really interesting strat for the SCX fight. I don't know if this is showing up on the Speed Gaming stream though. Seems to be some issues.
It showed up on IRC. He finished in 136. Also.
Oh, that's a PB for him. That's cool.
Oh really?
Yeah.
That's good for him. Maybe he improves his in-game time. Is he playing on emulator actually?
I have no idea.
I believe so.
Okay. Yeah, I'm really catching my breath. I mean, it's I am extremely warm right now.
Yeah, you said your heart was racing there for a while. Like, what time did it get?
What time did I?
What time did your heart get?
It started actually from the beginning. So it's almost 1.5 hours of full pure adrenaline running through my veins.
You need to take a break. You need to calm down.
yeah. Every time I race, and it was even more important. Every time I race, I feel like my heart is beating very, very strong. I easily lose anything I am about to do.
But I'm actually really happy that I was we're both able to finish. I mean, it's always nice in a tournament match if you can get to the end of the game, beat Omega.
It's scary.
I almost died in Sector 6. It was very scary.
I can imagine. You actually went back for the safe room just before SAX, right?
Yeah, because I felt like I could have died, and I wanted to finish the run no matter what. So
I didn't went for that safety save, but I almost died to Omega Metroid. I got the double swipe, but it was so nerve-wracking. I was really happy.
You survived with like 199 health or something.
Yeah, that's not much considering I actually got 5 E-tanks.
I was gonna go ahead and mention this. This is the first. Sorry to interrupt you guys, but I was just wanting to mention this. This is the first time where you've had 2 races at once where not a single one of the runners died. So,
wow!
Yeah.
Good job to everyone involved. This game is sort of volatile, and like we said, things do a lot of damage, and it's sort of easy to die, really.
especially in the second half of the game, it's really easy to die.
Yeah.
At around Yakuza and further.
Absolutely.
Ooh, well, I do hope that you did enjoy the race.
Yeah, I did. It was nice.
Indeed.
So congrats to Axodo and good luck against Hubert in the next race.
Thanks. Gonna need more than luck.
I'm really curious how that match will turn out. But we'll find out within a week, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know. Hubert might secretly have like a 45. You know.
He
Just
might have
never
been
know.
practicing 2016 strats.
In fact, I never told anyone, but I already got 43. But I don't want you to think you still have a chance. So I just pretend I'm not good. I'm not that good.
I'll be expecting JRP in losers bracket. Well, oh well. Is Ready there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Hey, congrats on participating in the first deathless two-way race. Or first deathless double two-way.
Double race.
Double race, yeah.
Yeah.
I noticed
So,
you
like-
got a PB in your run, buddy.
PBing?
Yeah.
I mean, I haven't like actually run this game very much, so it's really not that surprising considering how my clips are like up.
Well, I mean, a PB is a PB. It's always
No
something.
PBs.
Yeah. 44 seconds, but
You say that like 44 seconds isn't a lot. It's like I will be ecstatic for a 44-second PB.
yeah, but it depends on like what level of the game.
Yeah, I know how it works.
Probably, or every second matters. But whenever you're lower, it's like you usually get large chunks whenever you go up.
So do you think in the future you might go for maybe fewer energy tanks, or is it just like not quite at that point?
Yeah, I think I'm almost at that point where I can start like. getting
How
rid of
much-
some of the-
How much energy tanks did you pick up? Just curious.
I actually did not pay attention.
Like 7 or 8
like-
Okay.
was a fair bit.
Which
See,
is fine
I
because
didn't
like a
even
lot of the
practice
tanks are
this.
close.
I didn't even practice for this at all. Last time I ran was probably more than a month ago.
Extra good job on the PB then.
Yeah. I was kind of like remembering what to do as I went along.
Well, it still got you to the end of the race, so it's impressive to say the least.
I'm looking
Yeah,
forward to
I bet-
all of
I
the
bet half the
PBs in the
time
future.
it looked like I knew what I was doing. The other half
Yeah.
it just looked like I was just all over the place.
Yeah.
So do you have like a target time for like where you want to be at by the end of the tournament?
Not really. I mean, better is good. Somewhere better.
Yeah. I definitely find like doing more races generally does it helps a ton for improving. It's a lot more motivation than just like playing on your own.
Yeah, that's very true.
Indeed, it's the tournament also inspired me to do a lot of practice the past couple of weeks, and I gotten really close to get an actual PB. I now have a 53 in-game time, and I'm really close to the 52, only a couple of seconds away. And it's really exciting how much a tournament can inspire you to get that extra little effort out of you.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at the Super Metroid tournament and how many people that brought in.
Yeah.
And it helps a lot to... I see a lot of people learning the game and they're resetting all the time in the main deck, and a lot of people just don't wind up going through the whole game. But going through tournaments, people are kind of forced to finish their runs all the time, and I feel like they're getting better overall in the rest of the game as well.
Yep.
I agree.
Yeah.
So when's the next match scheduled for?
I thought I saw Eagles match scheduled for Wednesday.
There's another match tomorrow. Hurricane Foxball.
Yeah.
yeah.
The next match for the Metroid Fusion tournament is going to be Herc versus Foxbot, which is at 8 p.m. Eastern time tomorrow.
Okay.
And then the match after that, there might be one more show up, I think, because it's like 2 days from now. But the match after Herc and Foxbot that's currently scheduled is Eagle versus Robo, which is going to be at 1 p.m. Eastern on Wednesday.
Mm-hmm.
I would fully expect... I'm expecting there's probably going to be at least one more match scheduled in between those two. It might not happen, but the first deadline, I believe, is on the 26th, and that would be 2 days after Eagles match. So I have a feeling we're going to see some possibly last-minute scheduling for the next 2 days and the 2 days after that.